Between the releases of Alien and Aliens, two very different clocks were ticking. In our world, 7 years have passed, and hers, 57. While we changed, Ripley slept. But the company never did.
I'm Burke, Carter Burke. I work for the company. But don't let that fool you. I'm really an okay guy.
Earth, 1979 to 1986. A short stretch of time, but a turbulent one. America emerges from the 1970s bruised and distrustful.
But if history teaches anything, it teaches that simple-minded appeasement or wishful thinking about our adversaries is folly. It means the betrayal of our past, the squandering of our freedom. So I urge you to speak out against those who would place the United States in a position of military and moral inferiority.
Watergate, Vietnam, oil crisis, institutions failing loudly. But by the mid-1980s, something shifts. Fear doesn't disappear. It gets disciplined. It gets funding. It gets muscles. Technology stops being suspicious and starts being aspirational. Computers move from back rooms to desks. Weapons move from last resorts to solutions. And in 1984, the Terminator walks into the cultural bloodstream and says something radical. You can fight the future if you're willing to harden. And elsewhere, Ripley floats in hypersleep. There's no inquest, no apology, no explanation. The Nostromo incident becomes a footnote, then a rumor, and then nothing. She doesn't age, but everything else does. Corporations merge, policies update. Liability becomes a running joke. And when Ripley wakes up, she's told the same thing we were. This time, we're ready. The colonial marines arrived armed with smart guns, drop ships, motion trackers, loads of confidence. They quip, they laugh, they pose.
Have you ever been mistaken for a man?
No. Have you?
Oh, that's Ain't just too bad.
This isn't arrogance, it's cultural inheritance. They are the logical endpoint of a society that decided fear was a technical problem. And to be clear, they're not stupid. And that's what makes it work. They follow procedure. They trust the chain of command. They believe in the system. Just like the crew of the Nostromo did. But here's the quiet truth. The Xenomorph hasn't changed. Yes, it adapts, it survives, and it kills. What has changed is how humans interpret it. In Alien, the creature is unknowable, and that terrifies us. In Aliens, the creature is cataloged, and that comforts us.
Is this gonna be a stand-up fight, sir, or another bug hunt?
All we know is that there's still no contact with the colony, and that the Xenomorph may be involved.
But comfort is not safety. The weapons fail, the command structure collapses, information is withheld. Again. Because the real constant isn't the alien, it's the company. Ripley doesn't trust the gear. She doesn't trust the briefings. She doesn't trust the smiles. She's already lived through the part everyone else got to skip.
I only need to know one thing. Where they are. Anytime, anywhere.
Right. Somebody said alien. She thought they said illegal alien and signed up. Anytime, anywhere.
Are you finished? I hope you're right. I really do.
Yeah, okay, right. Thank you, Ripley. We also have Ripley's report on disk. I suggest you study it.
Because just one of those things managed to wipe out my entire crew in less than 24 hours. And if the colonists have found that ship, then there's no telling how many of them have been exposed. Do you understand?
Anyway, we have it on disc, so you better look at it.
Her strength isn't firepower, it's refusal. She refuses the company's framing, refuses the Marines' bravado, refuses the idea that control can be outsourced to machines. When she steps into the power loader, it isn't to become a super soldier. It's to take leverage back. And that 50-year gap isn't empty. It's a record of a lie evolving. The lie that says more tech means more safety. More weapons mean more control. Better systems mean better outcomes. Alien whispers that this isn't true. Aliens shouts it and lets us enjoy the noise before the consequences arrive. Same universe, same monster, same corporation, new confidence, but same ending. Thanks for watching our first Alien vs. original episode. I've spun this series off from my main channel, Creative Briefs, in order to dig deeper into the world of Alien. And this isn't a one-off episode. It is the first part of a 3-part exploration of what happens between Alien and aliens, not just in the story, but in the culture that produced them. In the next episode, we'll stay on Earth and look at the 7 years between 1979 and 1986, how fear, technology, humor, and military confidence changed, and how that shift shows up on screen. Then, in Part 3, we'll jump forward 57 years in universe into the long, quiet stretch where corporations consolidated power, stories got buried, and Ripley's experience became inconvenient. If that kind of slow, curious analysis is your thing, subscribe. Alien vs. isn't a lore archive. It's an examination of how fictional worlds are designed, maintained, and believed. And this story only really begins to make sense when you look at it from multiple angles. I'll see you in Part 2. Until then.
This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo. Signing off.